Well, hey everybody, welcome back. Again, this is Eric Brown, your Beverly Hills real estate agent, bringing you the best of LA, where we share with you cool local businesses here in the Beverly Hills and Los Angeles area and how you can connect with them. So we've got another cool treat today. I'm with my friend Kim O'Hara, who is a book and publishing coach. And so if you thought about books, publishing, or everything in between, Kim is the person to connect with. And I'm going to have Kim just dive right in and tell us a bit about her business. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Eric. It's really great to be here. I am always so excited to share what I do because most people do not know what a book coach is. A lot of times I get that question, I didn't even know that there was a book coach. And book coaches are often confused with someone who's just an editor. What I do is I look at the bigger picture of what a client wants to do with their book. What's their goal? What's their purpose? What's their mission? What's their desire? What's their passion before that they decided to write this book? And I offer a lot of accountability to people. Say someone like yourself who's a busy real estate agent, you really have a burning passion to write a book. It's been 10 years, you're like, I can't get it done. I offer a sense of accountability. I basically crack the whip. And you know every week you're going to be needing to write something that I'm going to hold you accountable for. So that's the coaching piece. There's also a lot of mindset that goes into achieving the greatest dream that you have with your story, going beyond what you're thinking of by yourself, and then you get it with someone that's collaborating with you and you think, oh my God, like I have an even bigger platform than I even realized I had.
So this is particularly near and dear to my heart because I did publish a book.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I use it more as, and it's interesting because one of the questions I have will piggyback off of this, but I use it more instead of sales to share my story. I use it as a way to potentially attract new business.
Absolutely.
And so I'm curious, when people approach you, I'm guessing there's all different types between nonfiction and fiction, what their goal is for the book.
Right.
So talk to the viewers a bit about that concept.
Right. Well, I'll just use examples because the best examples are the books themselves, and I have so many books that have been published by incredible authors. So this is a book by my client David Newman, Extra Virgin Olive Oil, and he wrote this because of what he has seen in the olive oil industry and what he knows were being sold on the shelves that is duplicitous and not right. And everybody who cooks should have this in their kitchen to learn what it's like to buy real olive oil. So he wrote it from a place of passion, like a burning message that he wanted to have get out into the world.
Sure.
Malin Svensson, she's a celebrity trainer here in Los Angeles. She does Jamie Lee Curtis, she does Maria Shriver, she has like amazing people that she works out in the 50 over set. She wrote this book because it's instructions on how to actually work out. So if you can't come to LA and work out in person with Malin, you can get her book and you can work out with her. And then there is her client, Gretchen Heido, who has this book about secrets. And even though she's a business coach and she does incredible work with people on business coaching, she's always wanted to talk about how women keep secrets. So this is almost like a passion project that she wanted to publish. So that's just a few clients. Then there are different reasons when it comes to memoir, which I don't have any memoir books here as an example today. Memoir is very challenging to publish. If you are not famous and you are not Britney Spears and you're not putting out a memoir, it's going to be very, very hard to publish a memoir unless something really extreme has happened to you, or you are an exceptional writer who just blows people away with like your vernacular and your writing ability. So if someone comes to me that wants to write about, say, I have a client who's writing about growing up in a really violent, UK social system, I work with him on being the best writer he can be because he's not famous, but he has an opportunity to hit a niche where he can talk about a book that maybe another man isn't writing out there.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And so as people, you've talked, obviously, your passion shines, as does my guess would be the authors. Having written a book myself, I know one of the biggest challenges is just getting started.
Yes.
And then also knowing, I don't know how much I have to do with this process beyond writing the words on the page, and walking through those steps with some type of end game in mind can be really challenging for a writer.
Right.
So maybe talk a little bit about the steps that you take that help them kind of go through this journey.
Right. Well, I work with people for a year and sometimes more. There is a marketing element to that. They do need to sell or publish the book. A book that just sits in your computer and doesn't go anywhere is not a very effective book. And so even though our first sort of 6 to 8 months is a very incubation period, I don't want them to think too much about platform. A lot of the conversations we have in the beginning is you are going to need some kind of social media presence. You are going to need to have some kind of, goal with the book to get it out. People aren't just going to find it. There's no like miracle curve. You are going to have to put in the work. And someone like yourself, what people often do is they'll write the book, they'll publish the book. Sometimes they'll self-publish it. Sometimes they'll hybrid publish it. And then after 6 months, they'll be like, well, it only sold 200 copies. Oh, well, I'm just going to give up. And that's when you ramp up.
Sure.
Because books can have a life years after they have even been out there. If you're just consistent and you're just competent and you wrap the book constantly into who you are and what you do. I'll give you an example of my book. It's not an easy topic, okay? But I have to say something about it because I'm passionate about promoting it. It's no longer denying sexual abuse, making the choices that could change your life. I have recovered from this journey. I am a successful, happy woman today. So I have to talk about how I got there. And so it's a passion piece for me. So I'm always doing like webinars and coming up with ways to reach as many survivors of abuse as I possibly can. This is one book I made. I won't make another one on this topic, but I will promote this for the rest of my life.
Sure. Yeah, that's a really great example.
Yeah.
And this might be a really good segue. What got you started?
Okay, sure. That's a really good question. It's a long answer. So let me think about the best way. Do I talk about the nervous breakdown? No, I'm just kidding. let me give the more the sweeter version. I was in the entertainment industry for a really long time. I made movies. I wrote scripts. I was a storyteller. I've been a storyteller since I was a little girl, and I didn't want to be in the movie business anymore. I didn't feel that I felt like films were the first phase of my journey.
Sure.
They weren't the lifetime journey. I'd always loved books. I'd always try to option, books against the studios, which is funny. Like I had all this ambition. And so when it came time to leave the movie business and I didn't really know what I was going to do, someone suggested that I try coaching. Because producing is sort of like coaching, except you're just like a lunatic, And now in book coaching, I have like skills and I've learned how to be a coach and there's like diplomacy and relationships and collaboration. But I really went into it when a business coach suggested I do it. I really didn't know what to do. And this is my first book. I had to bring it. It's with this author. Her name is Gail West. She's amazing. It's a book called Money, Come Dance With Me. When I met her, I was terrified I would never get paid doing this. She was my first paying client. Ironically, the book's about money. And it took her forever to publish it too. Like she had all these crazy things happen in her life and she finally published it and she's a really good friend to this day. But people will show up and affirm your decision, right? So if you decide, I'm gonna be something, I'm gonna be a book coach, I'm gonna be an author, the universe will conspire to push you in that right direction if that's where you're supposed to go. And people get all caught up, oh my God, it's gonna cost me so much money, it's gonna do this. It's like, life is short. Yeah. Life's really short. Like, how much does your dream really cost?
Yeah, that's really great perspective. And you think about those pages, unlike a business card, a brochure, an article, a blog.
Right.
Like you said, a book has a tendency to have some staying power. So you've transitioned into this world. We're now in these evolving times of artificial intelligence and things that are happening in the way that people consume content. What do you see within your world, books, publishing, etc., over the next year or years that will be trending?
Right. I don't have a lot of worry about ChatGPT. I think there's just been some upheaval in that area anyway. I feel like we should be worried about ChatGPT on a larger, more human security level than books, but people are going to keep wanting to just read books that are written by people that come from the heart and soul. I don't think ChatGPT can mirror that to the level that one would want to dive into a book and feel something. As for trends, there are great publications and online portals people can go into to read what's selling and what's happening in the marketplace, and it's always ever changing, right? In the publishing world, and it's great as an author to really know business. It's really important. Like, a lot of clients will come to me that are like, I don't know, and I'm like, well, get on Publishers Marketplace, get on Publishers Weekly, like, start seeing what's selling, start learning what books people are scooping up, because there will be a trend based on the pain points. That's what's going on in our country and what people are talking about most. That's what people are going to buy. So it's not like rocket science. Now I'm not saying cater what you want to write to what's in the industry, but if you want to write something and literally nobody's talking about it and there's no interest in it, then you probably might want to table that idea for the idea that might be more relevant.
So that touches a bit on trends. I'm also curious, where over the next several years does Kim O'Hara take this business? Where do you see yourself going with it?
Oh my God! If I knew that answer, I would have that answer. I have thought about that a lot. In fact, just recently, someone at the hotel across the street took me out for coffee and suggested I become a literary agent, because I help so many people write books, and they thought, well, since you've been in the business and you know how agents work, you could move the book into a sale with a big publishing house, and maybe eventually help it get made into a movie. And that's kicking around in my brain. That just happened 2 weeks ago. So that's fresh and new on my mind. I'm also an author, so I'm in the process of writing my second book, and I would very much like to see my business go in the direction of where I'm really only working with a very small group of people on their books, and I'm touring the world with my books. So really kind of going into another space on an author realm for me.
Sure. What a great journey. Well, we're going to pop up all of Kim's information on screen. If you have questions about publishing, the book writing process, need help in getting started, need help in the journey, Kim is the person for you. And Kim, I'd love to ask, is there anything that our viewers should know that you want to share as kind of a last parting words?
Absolutely. Writers write. So you have to keep writing. I have a column that comes out every weekend, and it is something that I have so much joy in doing at kimohara.substack.com. And I suggest anybody that wants to write and feel what their voice is like, start a blog, start a column, and get your writing out into the world.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. And great to be here today. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So again, here's Kim's contact information. Please touch base if you have any questions about the world of publishing or books. As always, this is Eric Brown, your Beverly Hills real estate agent, bringing you the best of LA. Tune into our next episode where you get to see other cool businesses here in the Los Angeles area. Until then, this is Kim and Eric signing off.